Facebook, YouTube. We are live and it's going to be gathering everybody together, but I'm going to get started. Today's going to be questions asked. I have way too many coming in and so much, obviously very little time. So I just have to make sure that I run through them. You're going to hear a couple of audio voice messages that you guys have left on the air live right now, and we will go from there. Comment also in the comment box if you have any questions, and I'll be answering them. So let me get started over here, and you guys will be able to hear the voice message. So thank you very much, Ron, for that voice message. That's awesome. And you sell pretty much home improvement, guttering type of services. And you said and mentioned that it's $1,000, high ticket item, which is great. Does it work door to door? Absolutely, 100%. Selling door to door for high ticket items like $1,000 definitely works. Now, it's a little different of a strategy when you're getting into like $1,000 product or service that you're selling door to door, as opposed to something that you're selling that's a lower ticket item. And yeah, believe it or not, solar is today an actual lower ticket item where they don't have to pay that much up front for the actual unit. Now, how you're talking about canvassing and setting up appointments versus closing them on the spot. Well, the first thing I want to tell you is, see, with door-to-door sales, it works for literally any product or service that you want to sell, because door-to-door sales is about that personal connection with that other person. So my recommendation to you is, number one, you have to obviously, first of all, believe that if you were to go out there and present your products and services, that, you would be out there getting accounts and sales. And you got to give yourself a time frame to actually go out there and do it. Now, the first thing I'm going to assign to you is you have to, number one, give yourself one complete week at 8 hours a day of knocking, full-time commitment with your actual marketing plan. I need you to build up, and you know your products and services better than anybody, right? So you know exactly how somebody can benefit from what you have to offer. I need you to write all these things down. Like, what are some of the ways that people can benefit? So like, for example, roofing. You're talking about cleaning gutters. And I'm assuming if, for example, water or rain were to build up when your gutter is actually full, that the rain would pour back over and it would go on your shingles on your roof, and that would cause damage there. So you need to understand and identify exactly all the different ways that people can benefit from what you have to offer. Now, the trick with door-to-door sales is building that communication and engagement up with your customers, because you have a higher ticket item, which typically means you're going to get less sales when you're starting off, because you're not even going to have a pipeline of potential leads that you can go back to, or people who are remotely interested. I recommend you doing both, okay? Have a sheet, an Excel spreadsheet, nice and clean and organized, with leads that you're going to contact back, because you're going to build this list up. Now, do not rely on that. Those are bonuses if you ever do work out sales from them. But on the other part, when you're talking to people, you need to understand that I have to close right now, or forget it, it is gone. Have that in the back of your mind. But on the other side, also be writing down the people who you just couldn't close right away. Now, it's a process. If you've never done door-to-door sales, you're going to have to learn how to get comfortable doing it, confident doing it. You're going to have to learn how to present your products and services in such a way where if you have multiple products and services, you're not just explaining everything off the bat. Hey, by the way, we do gutter. Oh, no, I don't want that. By the way, I do windows. By the way, I do this. And by the way, I do that. No, you got to stick to the basics, okay? So when you're communicating, now write that down, write it, and make sure you have that and build a pipeline. But I need you to go out there with setting up 5 customers as your goal for your first week. But you're not going to get it if you're going to go out there for the first time and you're going to wonder if door-to-door sales for your specific product and service work. I'm here to tell you it does. With 100% certainty, if I were to take your products and services and study it and know exactly what basically your, a customer, how a customer can benefit, I promise you, I would 100% go out there and be able to close, 10 accounts, 5 to 10 accounts in my first week. Now that's the mindset you have to have. You got to get comfortable and confident knowing and believing that you can actually do it. Now when you do, and even if you came back your first week with 3 accounts, you said it was $1,000 as a high ticket item that you're receiving from these customers. Well, how much of that is profit? That's to start. But what happens when you actually learn it and you figure out what works and then you start building a sales force of people at the doors who help you, okay? And then all the different types of products and services that perhaps you can offer to your customers after they do become a customer. So the final answer that I have for you is when you're talking about canvassing, to me, canvassing means the same as actually knocking on doors because I'm a right then and there on the moment, on the spot, closing the deal. The customer is, if you're with a higher ticket item, going to more than likely want to think about it and come back. You have to really understand how to deal with it and how to do it. You got to really get them within your first time you're talking to them, butter them up to have them to the point where, they're very interested in all the points you spoke about. So yes, it works. Set your goals, make sure you hit them and nail them and go after it. If you're not going to put 8 hours a day for your first week, especially to figure out if you're going to at least be able to get 1 to 2 accounts, remember your goal is 5, but get 1 or 2 accounts. Let's revisit it after your first week and you start looking back at how you can better it. But I promise you, you will not do it. You will actually go out there, try it for a couple of hours, say it doesn't work and go home. BS, don't even try it, don't even do it. Don't just leave flyers at the doors and expect people to call you. That doesn't work. You can leave flyers at the door, and if your main purpose for your flyers is to obviously generate leads, see, with flyers, it's about repetition. So people will need to see your actual flyer probably about 5-6 times on a consistent given period. So let's just say once a month you flyer an exact neighborhood out. So let's just say I've been thinking of getting my gutters cleaned and I see it the first time. Many times I look at it the first time, this flyer, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, you know what? I don't got time. Garbage. Then it comes in the second week. You know what? But today I'm busy. And then the third, okay, well, you know what? These guys are always out here. You know what? And now I really need to get this done because I'm finding out that my roof's starting to leak. Okay. So whatever it is, you'll acquire more sales by setting up flyers. And most people don't have a big budget to where, see, for me, I personally used to spend money on like literally 17,000 flyers at a time and section off neighborhoods in my areas that I actually want to flyer. And what I would do is set up a schedule so that you can basically say this little section, and this little section is going to get flyered on the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd of the month. So the following month, the 1st, 2nd, the 3rd, they see the exact same flyer. You cannot dominate the whole city if you don't have a big budget. What you have to do is break it down into little sections, but get them consistently seeing your ad if you do want to go the route of that. Okay? So that's how that works. But to start, like I said, make sure you go ahead and you do set up that the whole 1 week process to where you're going to learn it. Let's get into the next question, Randolph. Mhm. Hey, you're very welcome, and thank you so much for leaving that voice message. Now, the first thing I want to bring up to you is this, and I took some notes down. I've dealt with and worked in the past with people who generate leads for people. You got to be careful with that. Now, you're the person who's generating the lead, so you know whether or not you're providing quality leads and how you get paid. If you're just getting paid based on leads, a lead given to a closer, and that person doesn't, is keep getting frustrated with you giving them leads that are just pretty much given to them just so you can get paid, I need you to cut that off at the root. I'm not saying you're doing this, but there's a lot of people who are actually thinking of hiring lead setters. And you need to understand that if you hire lead setters to pay them based off of basically just generating a lead, you're going to notice, you're going to get people, you're going to walk up to the door. Hey, Brad told me to come to your property and actually you were interested in what we had to offer. No, I told that guy to go screw himself. You know, that is not what you're going to want to do, okay? You're going to want to set up quality leads. Now, the question which I know you're asking is, how do you set up quality leads? Well, you need to really understand and keep in mind, this is your job and your duty as the appointment and lead setter to butter this customer up. Right? You have to focus on all the different ways that your company can obviously help this customer ultimately change their life for the better. Now, you mentioned, excuse me, you mentioned you actually, you do home improvement. Well, if you do home improvement, that's a lot of different stuff that you guys and gals can actually do, right? I need you to focus on literally the top 3 things that the mass majority of your customers, you said you got sales already, actually got from you. And I need you to start off by targeting those and presenting those to your customer so that you don't just sound like when you knock on the door, you have everything to offer. And since you have everything to offer, you know, they can go ahead and it dilutes. The more stuff you have to offer for a customer, the more it dilutes what it is you're doing. Now, another thing I need you to understand is since it's your goal to get people interested and quality leads, you have to know your product inside out. Like you got to be able to get your hands dirty and you know, make sure that you find out and figure out what your customers' hot ones are. Like door-to-door sales is extremely difficult to teach to people because it starts off with a mindset, but it also comes back to when people ask, how do I increase my sales? It's all about that customer engagement. It's all about what are some of the things you can do or say or leave with the customer that can better help convert a customer from just not interested, like you said, into being interested? So it comes back to you need to know why your people are telling you not interested. And bottom line is it's because they aren't sold in yet on who you are and what you truthfully have to offer and what it'll mean to them. So how do we do that? You knock on the door. First thing I always say is you stand back. You stand as far as possible. And now when you're communicating and talking to your potential customer, you need to say, hey, and you know, be reputable, have your ID badge out there, take it off and hand it to them. I'm going to be really quick with you. You don't want at first for them to feel like you're just a pest at the door. I'm going to be really quick with you. I noticed, by the way, your lawn is kept up. Now, do you have a company that does that, or are you the one who does your lawn? What's going through their head? Okay, I need you to think about what's going through their head. The first thing that's going through their head, brother, is this. You're some sales guys trying to sell me lawn service, right? So that's typical. That's common from what their belief set is about you. But how do you overcome it? How do you work them? And that comes with courage. If you sound weak to the point where you're kind of like, I just don't know if I'm 100%, comfortable, like you're giving off that aura, I promise you, you're 100% not going to get, that person who's going to be interested in what you have to offer. So you have to dig deep. You have to dive in and, get the customer's attention. And how do you do that? By, for example, taking them out of the house and saying, okay, keep in mind, you have your top 3 things that you typically sell to a customer. One of them is lawn service. Start off with just one of them. And if they're like, no, I'm really happy with, my lawn service, you have to go into, you know what, that's fine, no worries. I mean, hey, I'm super happy and proud that you're definitely, you're happy with your lawn service. Just so you know, the reason why I was really out here was there's been a lot of people in the neighborhood who told us that their gutters are clogged. Have you had any issues with that? And they go, no, my gutters are fine, right? See, you need to know and understand all the different types of ways that people can benefit from what you have to offer. And if you can find almost like, I'd say 80 to 90% of people you knock on who have an issue with what you can solve, right? So whether it's gutters, whether it's their windows are dirty and you can clean it, then you have an in to closing them on selling them. Why do you think I love pest control, home automation, home security, and solar? Because every single person at every single door can benefit from that. Now, when you're talking home improvement, how many people really have an issue? And you know that. Right now, you can answer. It's like, well, no, actually, 99% of the people have an issue with their gutter. Well, okay. So if this person has that issue more than likely, like you're saying, well, what can them doing business with you resolve for them? See, people have to have a problem that you're able to fix in order for that transaction to occur to where you make the sale and they're thanking you and handing over a check, or obviously you're getting a contract. So you need to know all the reasons as to that. So I'm getting questions coming in as well that are coming in right here. So I'm going to answer a question as well that just came in off of an email. And the next question goes, what would be the best way to handle a sales slump and as well a burnout and get past it? So what's happening with a burnout? This is an awesome thing to talk about, an awesome topic. So, and then also the last is we all experience that in sales, and how do you get past this? So absolutely, burnouts happen because you're doing the same thing over and over again, not having a different result. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. But what happens when you're not getting a different result and you do it over and over and over again? See, we burn out because we don't grow. And when you don't grow, that's why I tell everybody, I'm like, if you're going to come into door-to-door sales and you're not thinking about growth as of like having, for example, building a team eventually once you master it, you're going to burn yourself out. How did I manage to do it for 12 years straight? Well, plain and simple, I grew within the industry. I started off, number one, with one major thing. How do I master the art of knocking on the doors? So the question that I have to you is, Josh asked this question, is have you mastered the art of door-to-door sales where you're comfortable and confident, you have that courage within you to go out there, knock on doors, and absolutely close deals? And if it is, you're going to have to start to learn to acquire the next talent, which is either building your own business in door-to-door sales, recruiting sales, a sales team and building that. And when you start progressing and moving forward, you don't get burnout, my friend. You really don't. But also it comes back to setting up goals. So you got to take some time off, definitely. But taking time off is not always the answer. Why? Because all you're doing is you're putting your SHIT pile on the side. And when you come back, what do you think? That pile's not going to be there? Absolutely, that pile is still going to be there. So just going away, people say just go away on vacation and that's going to solve everything. Bull crap. That's not going to solve everything. That's only going to put it away for a short period of time. And if you're anything like me, when you're on vacation, you're still thinking of that issue. So how much more do you enjoy? Okay, you need goals. Josh, you have to set up goals. With this year, 2016, or, next year, 2017, or, with the remaining 6 months in the year, I want to accomplish this. What am I willing to do? I'm willing to put this time aside to work and knock on doors so that I can accomplish that. And that's how you actually stop burnout from happening. And when you make money and you do very well, you reward yourself. Go to really nice Brazilian restaurants. That's one thing that I love doing, with my team. And go and recruit one salesperson and have one salesperson. Don't tell me any of you cannot go and find one freaking salesperson to knock with you as a partner and actually teach them what you know. I did that when I first started off for free. I went to other managers and like, dude, throw me some guys. I don't care. I'll teach them and help train them, for you. It's what I love. I'm a people person. So it comes back to your personality. But if you're just getting burnt out, it's because you're doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. So the next question comes in is the program, the dollar amount program, the $197 amount program, shows shows that you can customize it to any specific industry. Once you pay, does it then ask you which industry you want to focus on? Or is the general program the altitude for everybody and the industry or overall program? So if you go to masterd2d.com, that's what he's talking about, and his name is Matt. My program is pretty much built based on door-to-door sales and how to increase door-to-door sales for any industry. You see, it's not something where when you check out after you purchase my program that you're going to have to choose and select and it's going to be custom tailored to that. Folks, door-to-door sales works for anything you want to sell door-to-door. Are there certain things that are better to sell door-to-door for certain people? Absolutely. And if you have to, you know what product and service you're selling. Is it a higher ticket item? See, doing door-to-door sales, you have to find something that will make you $250 plus a day, minimum. You have to, because door-to-door sales is something where you're going to get rejected. You can't take it personally. You got to spend some time getting better at it. But let's be honest with ourselves. Are you, and I know I'm not going to go out knocking on doors, even though I love it and it's awesome to challenge. I'm not going to go out there and do it if I'm going to only get paid $100 or $50 for a sale. And what typically the top person does is, 2 or 3 sales selling candies door to door, or selling, something to where, anyways, you get the point what I'm talking about, selling candies or something of minimal value. I have to stick behind it and go for it. So my teachings, bottom line is it's for every single, because that personal connection at the doors, there's a certain method, there's a certain style that you have to use in engaging, locking with your customers, having a specific mindset, going through the ups and downs. It teaches you everything from A to Z, how to take your business or taking what you sell and presenting it to your potential customers, locking and engaging with them, understanding your features and benefits, and ultimately learning how to close a sale by asking the right way, by being assumptive. And then also growing your sales force as a bonus. And of course, our private members area on Facebook that we do have. So that's masterd2d.com. It's for every industry. No, you don't have to check which one it is, but it will help you close more sales at the doors, learning the full process. So I'm going to dive into one last email here, and it goes, what is the best way to figure out if someone who invites you into their home has no intentions to buy? Ooh, that's a very good one. So my or let's see, ladies, sorry, I should have read first. So that's Josh as well. You asked another question. That's awesome. I believe it's the same, maybe. Yeah, okay. So Josh, you asked this. That's a very good question. My man, here's the answer. It's your duty as a salesperson to get them interested. So the way you're thinking of it is completely wrong. If somebody's letting you in their house, you already have the confirmation that they're remotely interested in listening to you. So now the next step is understanding how and what this customer can benefit from what you have to offer. So I'm inside this customer's house. So Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, we're talking about home automation, for example. Have you ever thought of when you're sleeping at nighttime if somebody's coming into your property? I haven't, but my wife has. Okay. So now instantly my brain, and the more you do this, the better you get, goes, wife has been thinking about if somebody's going to break into the property that she needs to be alerted somehow. So I'm going to talk based on that because that's a hot button that can help me get the sale. Okay. So that's one thing I'm going to talk about. Oh, okay. So just to let you know, I'm not going to say, oh, we can fix that by you buying this. No. You're not selling the product. You're explaining what your product and service can ultimately do for the potential customer so that they say, sure, I'd like to acquire that product. Now, if you didn't pick up what I just said because I said it fast, this is recorded. Now, this is a live YouTube video, but it is recorded. Dive back and rewind that part over and over and over again until it makes sense. Because once that makes sense and it registers, you will see yourself increasing the amount of sales you close when you're doing your in-house demonstrations and presentations, okay? So I'm going to say it again, my products and services, features, and benefits. So I'm going to explain how ultimately having my product and service in the customer's hands is going to ultimately change their life. So he mentioned, his wife remotely thinks about that and he travels on vacation, let's just say. So I'm going to touch up on that. And I'm going to say, okay, so just so you know, not what I'm going to do for you, what our product and service does, and as a matter of fact, get them engaged. I'll hand them, let's just say, a leaflet, a flyer, or sorry, a picture of, a cue card of the way a keypad panel looks like. And I'll say right now, let's just say you're at home and you're in bed sleeping, and somebody were to come in from this back door, and I'll start explaining to them, somebody comes in, this is what would happen if you were to have this product inside your property. You see the difference? This is what would happen if your potential customer, so them, if they had this inside their house. Now, can you see yourself or your wife sleeping a little bit more comfortably? Not saying that that's going to happen, but if she had this, well, how would this work? Okay, just because you explained it, it doesn't mean it made sense to them. So you have to also, to get good at building interest, not just be talking and talking and talking, but engaging with them. Yeah, I can see my wife benefiting from that. Just to make sure that I made sense with this. How would that work? So let's just say at nighttime she's sleeping, okay, and somebody entered in from this back door here. How would that work? I'm not too sure. You got to re-explain it. So are they wasting your time? You get better over time. Feeling the customer out. If their eyes are like this and they're like fiddling with stuff, stop for a second. Don't say nothing. Now what happens is they'll bring their focus, their attention right back on you. And when they bring in focus, their attention right back on you, you can then go back into what you were saying. Oh, sorry, I saw you were busy there. Okay. So yeah, no, what I was saying again with your wife and how it would work. Okay, go back in, but you got to get confirmation. The reason why I'm a very good closer and I'm a very good salesperson is because I'm also a very good listener, as strong as I am a very powerful talker, okay? It's not what I say, it's how I present myself and how much interactivity I get with that customer. Now, if I'm talking about this and they're like, nah, I don't care, I can't benefit from that. Dude, money, dude, I don't got time, I got to go pick up my kids. The more excuses I get when you're feeling, Josh, that your customer should be like, dude, this is freaking awesome, more than likely that's your cue to be like, all right, see you later. I've literally just grabbed my stuff and walked out. Like, all right, see you later, not thanking them nor nothing. Because if they've invited me in the house and somehow they just remotely change their mind and they're not willing to listen to me when I'm asking them how my product and service, would benefit them, and they're like, I don't freaking know, it's time. That's your only cue to leave. But if it's because you're not, and 99% of the time it's because you're not building enough interest and engaging with them in the right way, as taught, yes, in my masterd2d.com program, you have to learn how to engage with them and bring it up so that makes sense. So I'm going to jump into questions if you guys have. Anthony, what's up, Paul? I'm sitting outside of a go back. I knocked earlier on and going to close it within 30 minutes. My brother, get it closed. Don't worry about trying to say the right things in order to close it. All you got to focus on, if you don't already know this, you're screwed. But you have to know how that customer you're about to walk into their house can benefit from what you have to offer, because that's how you ethically sell. And the way to ethically sell is present to them the answers to all the issues that they may possibly have right now, or all the issues that they may possibly have not already known about. Okay? So you can definitely come up with that. Your material is great. Brother, thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I love you all with much passion. Keep the questions coming. I'm going to create these videos, more live videos as they come. But love you all. God bless you all. And thank you so much on this Thursday. Actually, I'm going to pick up another camera, getting the glass board put up. And you're going to see some more locked in and engaged audience, Skype calls, and so much more coming with the Door to Door Mastery Show. Love you all. God bless you. Talk to you soon.